friends, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can add a registry entry in Installshield installer. So lots of time we face the issue like we need to create a registry entry through our installer. So how we can do it? So basically there could be few reasons, like we need to keep some information in the registries which will be used while an installation step, right? So for that reason I will we can utilize the registry related entries for later uses, right? Because you know there are properties which are in configured in property manager are not available in the uninstallation phase. So we need to keep some data in the registry for that particular software in the registry for the in the target system. So for that reason we can set up the registry entries. So to do so, what we can do is that we need to actually create or we need to create our see the registry entries have two paths. Let me just show you, open the registry entry first so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So this is my raed. And in this registry you can see that in the local machine we have a software. Inside the software you can see that save and zip, ALS, ltrace, aristocrat, ASI, etc, whatever we. So all these applications are in the 64-bit path, and there is one more key which is WOW, 64-32-bit node. So all the applications which are specific to the 32-bit system are having their registry keys in this path. So ultimately saying we need to understand where we want to keep the registries. Do we want to keep the registries in the upper these folders, parallel to these folders, or inside this folder? So for this course, let's say if you want to keep the folders or keys, your keys inside this key, then you need to keep your component and your installer on the 32-bit system. In case you are just going to the keep your registry entry above or parallel to this key, then you need to keep your component component as a 64-bit component, also your Installshield installer. So in my case, let me show you what is the configuration on my machine. The Installshield has 64-bit configuration, and if I just check the features, then in the features my both of the components are 64-bit components, right? So that means now we create a registry by associating the registry entry to a particular component. So let's say I want to create a registry entry to associate the executable component. That means whenever the executable component will be removed or installed on from a machine, only then the registry entry will get removed. Otherwise, they will exist. So how I will be doing it? So coming to this registry node. Now here, although I have already created, but I will be demoing this same thing again. So before adding any registry entry, go to this view filter, right? So go to this view filter now and change it to particular component to which you want to associate your registry entry. I want to associate my registry entry to this executable component, so that's the reason I have selected this one. Now let's say I want to create a registry entry in this base key. So in this base key I cannot directly listen. I am saying I cannot directly create my registry key. Reason being, I need some access, some permissions, and I will not be having these permissions directly inside this base key. So what I will be doing, I will be adding my key inside this software key. right? So doing, I will be just creating a mapping with the software key here by renaming naming it to the correct software version. So this is the software, and now I will be adding my company's folder. So let's say my company's folder is Jadugar, right? Now I will be creating an entry. Let's say it's a string entry, right? So I'm saying that it is just my test, and I want to keep the data from my property. So what I'm saying is that, let's say this is my configuration text, which is property manager, which is in the property manager. I will be using this register and value in my registry key. I will just modify the value of this registry key and setting it via property name, property value, right? So I am holding the value of this property permanently, not permanently, but just for until the software get uninstalled. I'm holding that property value in the registry, right? So this way I have created one registry entry, and as you can see that in the view filter I have done all the configurations. Now there are few more options available. If you right click on this key, then you will be able to see lots of options available, like you can even import a registry file. Let's say you have replicated any registry entry manually here, and you want to just export that file through this file or export options, then that file can be added directly to this reg import option, right? Now this is the automatic value, so I'm not just changing any value here, and yes, done this thing. I am just compiling this. Now we will check like how the registry entries are getting created. So as of now, you can see that inside the software folder there is no any kind of Jadugar kind of things, right? What I will do is that I will be just installing it. After installation, I need to check what happens, right? So next, 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 complete next. So this is the this value is binded to the configuration text property. So I will be writing it. This is Rahul's software, right? I'm just going to next, install, and finish. Now as you can see that if I just refresh it, I have a Jadugar key with the name my test. The value is this is Rahul's software, right? So basically the path, you can see that it is the directly inside the software, because we have combined this key with the 64-bit component, right? Now let me to uninstall the software. I'm hoping after uninstallation there should not be any key with the same name here. Uninstall, remove, so it is uninstall actually, remove, finish, right? I will be refreshing it. Seems like something is wrong. So what is this? What to be doing is that I have few recommendation. So in that case, what you can do is that in case registry entities are, in case if it is not getting removed while an installation, then try to change the component code, because I have a link which says that if your registry entries are not getting removed while an installation phase, then you can use this step. So let me just show you what the link says. It's opening, I think. Let's wait for this while it is working actually. Okay, so wait. I don't know why it is taking time. Oh. Okay, leave it. So now what I will be doing is that I will be just manually deleting it, right? And I will be changing the give me a minute. What I'm trying to say is not this. So I will be just opening new just open it, yeah. So here this is the link which I was referring. It's opening. Oh. So it says that I think it's not letting me go there. So, there's some issues. So I think it says that I need to just go to the components which my registry has been binded. I need to click on the component. I need to just change the component code, and after that I need to save. I need to build, and the folder is open, right? Build. Now try to install it again so that we can see that whether it is getting uninstalled properly or not. Next, and I am keeping here right. Next, install. Successfully installed, right? Now checking the things. I have my key with a different name, different value. Now I will be uninstalling it. Verify like whether the registry is getting uninstalled or not. Finish. Oh, see, it is working. My key has been installed properly, right? There is no any jadoo, right? Now let me show you one more thing. In case I need to see my registry key inside 32-bit path, then what I need to do is that I will be expecting my key inside this key. So for this reason, what I will be doing is that I will be just changing this component to 32-bit, and again this one also to 32-bit, and just go to this general information tab and changing the platform supported for my installer to 32-bit, right? So this is the actually Intel. The values, supported values are like Intel, Intel 64 or x64. So it is Intel, right? I will be just changing the component code. Maybe this time I get face issue, so I'm just changing the component code. Done. I will be just compiling it. I will check whether it is getting properly installed on the expected path or not with this uninstallation of key as well, right? So let's see this. I don't know why it is taking time to do its work. Yes, it is building, right? Now just open the path, click next. Install. Next. Let me just check before installing, like whether we have already Ninja or not. So you can see that there is no Ninja inside this WW64 node, right? And also in this 64-bit path, I don't have any Jadugar, right? So here the value would be 32-bit testing, right? Next, install. Finish. Refresh. So I have refreshed it. You can see that inside the 64-bit path we don't have any Jaguar kind of thing. Now I am just moving to this 32-bit. Here we have Jaguar with the value 32-bit testing, right? Now I will be uninstalling the product. When I uninstall it, let's see. So see, there is no any Jaguar kind of things in my WW64 32-bit node. I mean to say it in 32-bit path. Also same with the 64-bit path. So no Jaguar. So ultimately saying this is the way to install and uninstall the registry entries with your installer, right? So also apart from that, I have few recommendation, like in case registry entries are not getting created in the defined path, then read this. So everything is for the community. I don't know why every community is not getting opened. So I will just posting these pages in description box. Also this one, this is also called community, and you can, if it is not getting removed while an installation, then you need to change the component code. We have done and it is working fine. After that, now you can choose registry entry for saving MSI properties as well. Read here. So basically this PDF includes the uses of registry entry. That's why I am recommending this PDF to be written, to be read. Let's it to open. So it says that the initial value of Windows install properties can be installed in property and directory tables of the MSI database, right? And the properties can be created in many different ways. Now, properties automatically saved on installation. Now come to this. Okay, so you know that you need to read these things. For properties not included in small collection. Let me to come. What I'm saying is that just control uninstall. Okay, where is the install? So it says that one aspect of Windows installers behavior is that is occasionally surprising to developer is that the values of MSI properties set during the installation are generally not available during maintenance mode or uninstallation. That means if you are configuring any property, let us assume you have a property which is this installation text. You can set this value while installation, but while uninstallation you cannot read the set value of this property because the value gets lost. So for this reason you can use the registry, and in the registry you can basically set the registry entry value with this particular property. So by that way you will be able to save the value of that property, and later on by an installation you can refer or use that registry entry to read the value of the property indirectly, right? So this is the saying of this PDF file. I will be just referring, or I will be posting the link of this PDF file in the description box for your help. So that is from my side. Thanks guys.